Hello and welcome to my channel, The Lab Rats. So we are going to do another immunology video on classification of antibody. So basically we are going to discuss about different characteristic features of all the 5 different classes of antibody. And as this topic is very common for each and every examination, because almost every examination has question from antibody, whether they are PhD entrances or MSc entrances. Also this video is going to be useful for those who have immunology paper in their BSc and MSc courses. Those who wants to learn about structure of antibody, I have already uploaded a video on that topic and you can find the link in the description box. Now let's begin with today's video. These are the 5 different classes of immunoglobulin and these are the different characteristic features that we will discuss one by one. Now before starting the video, I would like to tell you that whenever I used to memorize this table, I would always write the names of these immunoglobulin in this sequence. Okay. I would always follow the sequence GAMED, gamed. Okay. Because there are several characteristic features. Some of the features such as heavy chain classes, subclasses, J chain, hinge region, complement fixation, function, etc. You will come across these things several times while doing your immunology paper. So you will eventually memorize these things. And this table is just to help you quickly revise all those things. Okay. But there are some of the characteristic features such as molecular weight, percentage of total antibody, average half-life of all these immunoglobulin. These are the things that you need to memorize. Okay. And when you always read these things in a particular sequence, for example, like this, you are able to memorize it for a longer period of time. Now, everybody has their own way of memorizing things. This was my way of memorizing it. And so I wanted to share it with you. Now, let's begin with the video. First is molecular weight. So molecular weight of IgG is 150 kDa, IgA has 385 kDa, IgM has 900 kDa, IgE has 200 kDa and IgD has 180 kDa. Now percentage of total antibody. For example, if we take total antibody as 100%, then what is the percentage of IgG in total immunoglobulin which is present in our body? What is the percentage of IgA in total immunoglobulin which is present in our body? So the highest percentage of total antibody in our body is shared by immunoglobulin G. Okay. Then IgA which is 13%, IgM which is 6% and then IgE and IgD are 1 or less than 1%. Now what is the average half-life of these immunoglobulin in serum? The maximum half-life is of immunoglobulin G which is 23 days, which is followed by IgA which is 6 days, then 5 days for IgM, 2.5 days for IgE and 3 days for IgD. Now what is the structure of these immunoglobulins? The structure which we discussed in our previous video was of a monomer. Okay, so in case of IgG, IgE and IgD, there is monomeric structure. If you talk about IgA, then it is dimeric in secreted form and it has also a monomeric form. This monomeric form is membrane bound. Okay, if you talk about IgM, it is pentameric, that is it has 5 monomers. This pentameric form is secretory form. Now it also has a monomeric form. Okay, and this monomeric form like IgA is also membrane bound. Apart from this, there is much less discussed form of IgM which is hexameric form. This hexameric form is also secretory form. Immunoglobulin G, E and D, they are monomer. In case of immunoglobulin A and immunoglobulin M, they are monomeric when they are membrane bound. Membrane bound form is monomeric. And in case of IgA, the secretory form of IgA is dimeric in structure and secretory form of IgM is pentameric in structure. Now coming to antigen binding sites. Now if you remember this figure from the last video where we discussed that in a monomeric antibody structure there are 2 FABs. Now what is FAB? FAB is antigen binding fragment. So these are the position where antibody interacts with the antigen. These are present on the variable region of antibody structure. So basically in a monomeric antibody, there are 2 antigen binding sites. If you talk about number of antigen binding sites in different antibody form, for example, this is monomeric, this is dimeric, this is pentameric, there is a hexameric form. So if you try to find the number of antigen binding sites, in monomer immunoglobulin, there are 2 antigen binding sites. And in case of oligomer, the number of antigen binding site is 2 into number of monomeric unit. How many monomeric unit of antibody is present in that oligomeric form. So if you talk about dimer, here there will be 2 into 2, that is 4 antigen binding sites. If you talk about pentamer, here 2 into 5, that is 10 antigen binding sites will be present. So the number of antigen binding sites are 2 in case of IgG, IgE and IgD. In case of IgA, it can be 2 or 4 depending on the form. In membrane bound, there is 2. In secretory form, there is 4. In case of IgM, membrane bound has 2 and secretory form has 10 antigen binding sites. Now the next point is heavy chain classes. Now on the basis of difference in their amino acid sequence, the heavy chain of immunoglobulin has been divided into 5 different categories and they are known as heavy chain classes. These are mu, gamma, alpha, delta and epsilon. Okay, and on the basis of presence of these heavy chain classes, the immunoglobulin has been divided into 5 different categories. Okay, so if you talk about heavy chain classes, mu, gamma, alpha, delta and epsilon, so those immunoglobulin in which mu heavy chain class is present, they are known as IgM. Those that have gamma heavy chain class are known as IgG, alpha IgA, delta IgD and epsilon has IgE. Now on the basis of amino acid sequence variation, light chain has also been divided into 2 different classes and they are kappa and lambda. In case of IgG, gamma heavy chain class is present. In IgA, alpha is present. IgM has mu. IgE has epsilon and IgD has delta. Next is subclasses. So due to the changes in the amino acid sequences, heavy chain has been divided into 5 categories, which are heavy chain classes. Now due to further changes in the amino acid sequences or differences in the amino acid sequences, some of the heavy chain classes has been divided into different subclasses. For example, in case of gamma, it has been divided into 4 subclasses, which is gamma 1, gamma 2, gamma 3 and gamma 4. In case of human, in case of mice, it is gamma 1, gamma 2A, gamma 2B and gamma 3 in case of mice. Now alpha is also divided into 2 subclasses, which is alpha 1 and alpha 2. Next is J chain. J chain stands for joint chain. Okay, joint chain, and it is a small acidic protein which is made up of approximately 137 amino acids. It is not found in monomeric immunoglobulin. It is a part of polymeric immunoglobulin. Okay, polymeric immunoglobulin such as IgM and IgA, though it is not required for polymerization of the immunoglobulin. For example, if you talk about IgA, so secreted IgA is in dimeric structure and this dimerization is not dependent on the joint chain. That is, joint chain is not required for dimerization of IgA, but this joint chain helps in binding of this dimeric IgA to the secretory component. Now this component is very important for secretion of dimeric IgA out of the B cell. Also, if you talk about IgM, secretory form of IgM, which is pentameric in structure, so many papers, many research articles have reported that in case of pentameric IgM, when all the 5 subunits of IgM arranges into a pentameric structure, then only this joint chain or J chain binds to this pentameric structure. That is, here also it might not be required for the polymerization of this IgM molecule. However, this J chain is not present in the hexameric IgM. Hexameric IgM, it do not have J chain. So among all the 5 different classes of immunoglobulin, J chain is present in IgA and IgM. Now next is hinge region. This is the general structure of a monomeric immunoglobulin. These two are the heavy chains of the immunoglobulin and these two are the light chains of immunoglobulin. So if you see, these two chains are further divided into several domains. Okay, in case of light chain, if you see, this is the variable domain, this is the constant domain. Here also this is the variable domain and this is the constant domain. Okay, so it is divided into two domains. Similarly, heavy chain also have several domains. So this is a variable domain of heavy chain and these are the constant domains of heavy chain. Okay, there can be three, there can be more than three constant domains in a heavy chain. Now if you see the heavy chain, so in between the constant domain 1 and constant domain 2, there is an extended amino acid sequence in the heavy chain and this extended amino acid sequence is known as hinge region. Okay, this is known as hinge region and it provides two different properties to the amino acid. The first property is elasticity. Okay, so this elasticity helps the immunoglobulin to bend at different angles and this facilitates it to bind to different antigens. Second is homodimerization. Homodimerization of what? Homodimerization of heavy chain. So in the hinge region, if you see, there are disulfide bonds in between the two heavy chain. So these disulfide bonds helps in dimerization of the heavy chains of the immunoglobulin. So these are the two different properties of hinge region. Now this hinge region is not present in all the classes of immunoglobulin. It is present in IgG, it is present in IgD, and it is present in IgA. Now if you want to learn all these things in more detail and want to learn about the structure of antibody, so you can watch the video whose link I have provided in the description box. So the hinge region is present in IgG, IgA and IgD. Now the next is complement fixation. So what is complement? Complements are serum protein. These serum protein helps to eliminate blood and tissue pathogen. They eliminate blood and tissue pathogen during both innate and adaptive immune system. Okay, so here are several new terms such as complement, serum, innate and adaptive immune system. So if you want a detailed video on these topics, you can comment in the comment section or you can send me a message on the Facebook page and I'll make a detailed video on these topics. So now these complement proteins follow different routes to eliminate the foreign molecule from the body. And different routes are opsonization. During opsonization, complement protein make the pathogen susceptible for phagocytosis. Okay, phagocytosis. Next is they initiate inflammatory responses. Inflammatory responses at the site of infection. Okay, they initiate inflammatory responses at the site of infection. So what does it do? It helps in recruitment of the affected cells that will come to that or that will migrate to the site of infection and they will help in elimination of the or removal of the immune complexes. Now the next one is formation of MAC. Formation of MAC. What is MAC? MAC stands for membrane attack complex. Okay, so they form membrane attack complex by the help of several complement protein. So this is a basic about complement system or the serum protein that helps in elimination of foreign molecule from the body. Now there are several terms and if you want a detailed video on any of these terms, you can comment in the comment section or you can message me on Facebook or Instagram and I'll make a separate video on these topics. So those immunoglobulin that are involved in complement fixation are IgG and IgM. They helps in complement fixation. Now next is what are the different function of these immunoglobulins. So talking about function of IgG, IgG are primary immune response immunoglobulin or antibody. So what is primary immune response? Whenever an antigen enters our body for the first time, the immunoglobulin that are formed against it for the first time are known as primary immune response immunoglobulin. For example, Suppose this antigen X enters our body for the first time, or this type of antigen has entered our body for the first time. So the immunoglobulin that will form first of all against this antigen will be of IgG type. Okay, IgG and IgM. These are the two antibodies that are formed as a result of primary immune response. Among these two immunoglobulins also, the first immunoglobulin that is formed during primary immune response is IgM. Okay, it is the first antibody to be formed during primary immune response. Now the second function of IgG is that it can cross placenta. It is the only immunoglobulin that can cross placenta. So basically if we say the maternal IgG, okay, the maternal IgG can cross the placenta and enters the fetal body. So we can say that it is the first antibody that provides fetal immunity. Okay, it is the first antibody to provide fetal immunity. Another function of IgG is opsonization and then complement activation. Also, the affinity of different IgG subclasses for complement activation are different. For example, IgG3 has highest complement activation property, then IgG1 and then IgG2. Okay, and we know that the gamma heavy chain class has been divided into 4 subclasses, that is gamma 1, gamma 2, gamma 3 and gamma 4. Okay, so based on the type of subclasses that are present in the immunoglobulin, IgG are also named as IgG1, IgG2, IgG3. Okay, so IgG in which gamma 1 subclass is present can also be called as IgG1. Okay, so here IgG3 has highest affinity for complement activation, then IgG1 and IgG2. IgG4 does not take part in complement activation. IgA. IgA is found in a very high amount in the colostrum. Okay, so colostrum is a thick milk that is produced for the first time by the mother after the birth of its child. Okay, also it is the main immunoglobulin in mucosal secretion. Okay, so it can also be called as mucosal antibody. IgA forms the first line of defense. So if you see, IgA is found in all kind of secretion from our body. For example, IgA is found in tear. It is found in saliva. It is found in gastrointestinal secretion. It is found in sweat, body sweat. Okay, so it is found in all kind of secretions from our body. That is why they form a first line of defense. It is a kind of first immunoglobulin that is taking care of our body whenever an antigen is trying to enter our body. Now we know that IgM is the first antibody to be produced during primary immune response. Its monomeric form is a part of B cell receptor, BCR, and it also involved in complement activation. So IgM is the best antibody for complement activation. Okay, it is the best antibody for complement activation. IgE, it activates basophil and mast cell. These two are the granulocytes. Okay, so IgE helps in activation of these cells in response to an antigen. It helps in activating type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. It is a type of allergy. Helps in diagnosis of parasitic infection. So whenever a parasite infects our body, the level of IgE goes up. Talking about IgD, nothing is much known about IgD, but it is found as receptor on a mature B cell. Thank you so much for watching the video. If this video was useful to you, please like and share it, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon for recent updates. You can post all your video related queries in the comment section. Also for your video related queries and recent update, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. The link for those pages are in the description box. So see you in the next video. Until then, keep learning and keep motivating.